First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth and truth and sincerity. Right, Salakia. If you hear, children playing or my young one, crying or whatever, she's getting her diaper changed, they taking a bath. But anyway, in this particular video, I want to talk about Vanessa being mandated in New York, right? Now, before this, it was an article of Cuomo saying you got to get Vanessa or you got to get tested for the Crown Vic Royale each week. And I think he was talking about certain businesses or something like that. I was trying to find an article, I can't seem to find it. But the reason I bring this up is to show you how Esau thinks. He has a forked tongue. He says one thing, but he really means another, and his goal is another. Because most of the tests that they take for Crown Vic Royale come back positive, So let's say you go to the plantation, whatever, you get tested for the Crown Vic Royale, right? And they send you home for 2 weeks because that's the protocol. They send you home for 2 weeks. So you go home for 2 weeks and you come back and you being mandated to test again. Boom, you got it again. So now you gotta go home for 2 weeks more. You missed a month of pay, right? You still got bills, car note, etc., etc., right? So Esau wants you to think to yourself, damn, bro, I need to work. You know what? I'm just going to fuck around and I'm going to bring Vanessa with me. That's how he wants you to think. But anyway, check this out. This is coming near you, all right? Look, New York City mandates proof of Vanessa for many indoor settings. New York City to require proof of at least one dose of indoor dining for indoor dining. New York City launches Vanessa. You see that. I got, what it said after that. You see that. I got flagged for that one time. Crown Vic Royale, Vanessa mandated in New York. Here's what residents are saying. Just look at these headlines. Look, look at these headlines. And before you know it, if you don't got Vanessa with you, you can't do shit. All right? Let's look at this. First, I want to talk about Esau's enterprise because ultimately he's going to bring out that MOTB. All right? He disappointed the devices of the crafty. Job chapter 5 and 12, and we read, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. They're talking about his plot and his plan. You know what I mean? And his plan is what? So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And enterprise is the NWO, New World Order. And that is to have everybody take that MOTB. And if you don't know what the MOTB is, it's the chip. All right? But anyway, I just wanted to go over that real quick. My daughter's sitting there tripping in the back, so I'm going to hurry up with this.
And let's bring in ABC News medical contributor Dr. Tad Ellerin for more on this. Dr. Ellerin, so what's your reaction to the news, first of all?
Well, I think this is really smart. I mean, New York City being the first of its kind in the United States to mandate, these immunity-type passports to enter indoors. I mean, Kara, we know that as cases are rising, as you have the most contagious variant to date, we know that hospitalizations and deaths also.
And when this hits the grocery stores, look, it's going to be real, things are going to get real grim out here. You bump into the regular Israelite, they say, I'm not taking that. I ain't fucking with Vanessa. Oh, really? Okay. When that shit hit your job, I asked this one bitch, and that's what she is, man. So, don't give me a hard time about it. I asked this one bitch, and she told me something. I ain't taking it. I'm like, so what happens when they mandate it here? She says, well, I won't be here. She's like, all right. Everybody think that they can not worship Yahweh Shai, not practice the law, statutes, and commandments, don't study, don't know anything that happened, and they can just turn around and do what you do. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. That's the only way you're going to be mentally stable, because shit is going to be popping. All right?
fall, in order to keep these things down, to really put a full court press on the virus, we want to try to stop it from where it's spreading the most, and we know that's indoors. So I really think this is aggressive and a very positive response from the mayor.
All right, so positive response, you say aggressive approach, but really, truly, how much of an impact could this have on actually stopping the spread of the Delta variant? I mean, clearly, Dr. Ellerin, people have got to listen and take action. I mean, we are in the position that we're in because there's been a lot of misinformation out there, and also there's still a lot of people very timid about getting vaccinated.
And hopefully this is really an incentive to do that. We don't want to keep people out of venues and establishments that they want to go to. But let's face it, Kara, this is a public health crisis. It's like saying, I don't want to drive on the right side of the road because the government wants us to. I mean,
And another thing too, sorry to cut it off, but they were talking about stimulus checks. I read this article some time ago, and one of the people said, well, if you want the stimmy, you got to be with Vanessa. All right, you got to be with Vanessa if you want that stimmy. And let's get even deeper. How much they want you to chill with Vanessa. Um, they said uh uh Salakia, it's right. Dang, I just had it. Just bear with me. It's coming back. Uh, Dang. I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna come back with
it's just safety. We don't drive on the left side of the road. It's not something we even think about. Vaccination is so safe, so effective. Even when you look at deaths now compared to 1 year ago, they're down significantly, even with similar amounts of cases, and that's because the vaccines are working. But when you look at the people that are dying from COVID-19, it's mostly the unvaccinated. We have to change that around right now. Steps like this will help.
So I'd love you to personalize this for me, because the other night I interviewed a nurse in the emergency room, and she was talking about the increase in patients that she had with COVID. And she believes everything, of course, is tied to the spread of the Delta variant. She said almost every single one of those patients, doctor, said to her, okay, I want the vaccine. Give me the vaccine. Can I have the vaccine before I leave here? What are you seeing personally as a doctor? Are you seeing the same reaction, that all of a sudden people are having a wake-up call once they enter the hospital?
I mean,
you. Oh yeah, I remember. It's unemployment. People think they can just, oh, my job, I'm just put in my 2 weeks or do something to get fired from the job and just collect unemployment. Well, they hit that too. They said if you're not with Vanessa, you can't collect unemployment.
it's unbelievable. I mean, we have someone that's been in our intensive care unit for months, fighting for his life, and there's no question that this person and the family, and friends all wish that he had been vaccinated, and so we want to try to do this before people enter the hospital. It's so easy. The vaccine has been so clearly shown to reduce hospitalizations from COVID-19. We don't want people to just forego that chance of protection, that molecular shield that's helping us. I mean, I urge everyone to roll up their sleeves and get vaccinated. It's the most important thing we can do right now to keep us safe.
So do you think this announcement, what we just heard from Bill de Blasio, will have a bigger impact on vaccinations than some of the incentives we've seen, like cash payments?
I do think that it could. I mean, over the past few weeks, as your story showed, we have seen an increase in vaccination. I think some of these incentives are working, but I do think that this type of step forward is reasonable. Also, I want people to remember that there could be a time when no longer are you being incentivized to get the vaccine, but it actually could cost us something. I don't know when that will happen or if that will happen, but let's face it, it could. So
Yeah, listen up to what this devil's talking about, or whatever he is. Yeah, either though.
now's the time to get vaccinated. Waiting is not a good idea for anyone.
Todd Ellerin, thank you so much.
See that? Hey man, things is getting real out here. And once again, slack you for that crying in the background, whatever. But I hope this was edifying. short little video. But with that, I want to say shalom. On to the next one.